I'm working on my second photo book. My first one came out, and the second one's going to be pretty cool because it's all my North Korea shots. That'll be crazy.
Oh, wow. You went to North Korea?
Yeah, it took 3 years to get that visa. A few years ago. Wow. It was just sad.
Was it when Kim Jong-il was still alive?
It was Kim Jong-il, yeah. The last days of Kim Jong-il before Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just, like when I was in Iran, just like they point you at what you're supposed to look at.
Right.
Don't look over here. It's a propaganda tour.
How much time did you spend in North Korea?
About a week. I was in Pyongyang and the areas around Pyongyang, and then I went there via Beijing, and then from there up to Mongolia, then over to Bhutan.
What was North Korea like?
Just sad. Just poor people who are scared of their government. And my tour guides, since I went there alone, they were very suspicious of me. So they put 2 tour spies on me. The nice one who talked to me and the mean one who just scowled and took notes. And every day, the guy would ask me basically the same questions, like when a detective is trying to peel the layers of onion skin off. So you said you're a businessman. I'm like, yeah. And like, so what do you do? Like, I edit books, which is true. Right. Mine. And they said, really? What are the books about? I said, well, often they're not that good. I was just winging it. And so you're all put in one hotel. You and the Dutch tourists and the Australians, everyone's in the one hotel across the bridge that's with men with rifles. You're not going anywhere. And so every day they go on their buses and I get in the car. And the Australians recognize me, the Brits recognize me, and they all want photos. And we were walking to the, whatever that room is, the room where the North and South meet. Where they come in through the northern door and the southern doors, that blue room, the DSJ. I'll come up with the JSA, the Joint Security Area, something like that. I pulled one of the Australians to the side. I said, "Can you please, call your friends off me, because my tour spy is starting to ask me really weird questions about why people want their photo with me, and if I'm caught being in movies, writing books, rock and roll, I'm going downtown for a meeting that I might not get out of." And so he cooled out all his Australian friends. But then there's this one British guy who just kept getting in my face with the camera, because you're all getting taken to the same places. And I'll never forget this. My tour guide, who for the previous 3 days was like, his English was from school, like, Henry, he went from that to, how does this guy know you? And all of a sudden his English was as good as mine. I'm like, oh no. Whoa. And I'm not good at lying. So I said, I met him in the breakfast room. I don't know, maybe he's hot for me. I was trying to explain it away. And I just had to kind of go, I don't know. And I had to try and avoid this guy. And I was really nervous. The last day I was there, when they finally took me back to the airport in Beijing, I'm like, damn, man, am I really getting on this plane? And when the plane took off, man, I just like, okay, I did that.
But why wouldn't you just say, I'm a musician, because
they won't let you
perform?
I went on a tourist visa, and if you claim any of that, you're going to get tons of scrutiny, and they're not going to let you in.
They won't let you in if you're an artist?
Absolutely, absolutely not. Because they fear it. They fear what you'll go back to the mainland with. Same thing in Iran.
Because you're a public person, they don't want you. But how the fuck did they let the basketball player? What the fuck's his name?
Rodman.
Yeah, how did they let him?
Because he toed the party line. And just told Obama, just call your pal Kim. Sure, that'll work out great. And same thing when I was in, I went to Tehran via Dubai, and the guy who met me at the airport, after the airport people got done grilling me, he said, look, I got your visa. I know who you are. I'm not your tour guide. He's a government guy. Don't tell him what you do for a living. We'll never get you out of here. So the last day,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the last day I'm in that country, I'm eating dinner with this guy and his amazing wife. They're both like rocket scientists, and they get by with a website that gets visas done. So her cousin, Anusha, the woman, her cousin calls her and says, your friend Henry's on TV. And Ahmed dropped his fork and said, we've got to go. We have to get you to your hotel. You got to pack up right now. We just go to the airport, check in, check your luggage, find a corner, put your face in it, and wait for the flight. And I got to the airport like 4 hours early, because he said, you got to go.
Whoa.
And so I just sat there in the airport with my face down, and then eventually got on the 3 a.m. to Dubai, and I was out of there.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What would have happened if you got caught?
Questions, which leads to more questions, and you just don't know. It turns into like, well, he's been interrogated for the last 3 months, and we don't know. And since I'm not a hot-looking girl, President Clinton's not coming to rescue me. And so those are the 2 countries I've been to where don't tell them what you do was what I was instructed before I left.
Wow.
Yeah.